Welcome, and thank you for tuning in for a special edition of Parish and Community. During the month of November, which is deemed Black Catholic History Month in the US, we're featuring local Black Catholic leaders who contribute to our church and our community. My name is Christine Dragonette. I'm the Director of Social Ministry at College Church, and I'm very grateful to be joined by Caleb Camp today. I first encountered Caleb because he's featured in an article in the October and November issue of Catholic St. Louis magazine. So be sure to check out that article if you haven't already, and we will link that as well. Caleb is a St. Louis native who is a parishioner of St. Alphonsus Rock Church just up the street from College Church. He studied broadcast journalism at Western Illinois University. Since graduation, Caleb works as a youth specialist at Better Family Life and continues to give back to the Rock Church parish community. Caleb is also a motivational speaker and an influencer who goes by the moniker J Stewart on Instagram. Welcome, Caleb. Thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mentioned in your bio that you're a parishioner at the Rock Church. Would you share just a little bit about how you describe the Rock Church community and how you're a part of that community there?
Definitely. So I've been at the Rock Church since I was a baby, since 1998. I came as soon as I was born. My parents brought me there. So yeah, I've been there for 23 years and have done a lot there as far as altar serving and lector, commentator, and things like that. So I've done pretty much everything. As far as the environment and just how everybody is there, it's definitely family. It's very family oriented. A lot of people have known each other there for years, for decades. So it's the different age levels and things like that. It all trickles down to the youngest all the way up to the oldest, and everybody's tight and well knitted and just family. It's very family oriented, and that's just how we go about each Sunday with the service, and then just the other things that we do as well. So yeah, definitely very family oriented, you could say.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that from our partnership with the Rock Church. College Church has collaborated on a few different activities over the years, so that definitely resonates. I'm also curious to hear a little more about your role at Better Family Life. How did you get connected to that role, and what does your day-to-day look like?
So actually, I've been with Better Family Life since I was 8 years old. I started in the program as a youth. So I did that from 8 to about 18. So about 10 years with them doing that. And then after that, they brought me under their wing as somebody that they saw could really work here and do the things that they do as staff members here. So as I came into, high school and college, I was doing, small minor things, not full-time work, but small minor things to help them. And now that I'm out of college, being a youth specialist, I am going into the schools and teaching. I'll start doing that next year, and as well as doing after-school programs and being a staff member for those, and just a whole bunch of other things as well. So pretty much the biggest thing about it is mentorship work and making sure that we're supporting the youth here in the city of St. Louis. So bringing services that they may need themselves or their families may need, and just making sure that they have, that extra support that they need outside of the classroom or, outside of their home life. So that's the biggest thing about being a youth specialist here at Better Family Life.
Very cool. I didn't realize that you had been a part of the program for so long, like full circle.
Definitely.
Awesome. Shifting a little bit to being a young person in the church, I think that this is like a big conversation that we're having is young people in the church, and there's a lot of people leaving the church, and also a lot of conversation about how to keep people coming back. So for you as a young person in the church, this might be a tough question, but just thinking about your faith, what's most challenging for you about being Catholic and being a young person who's Catholic, and what do you love about being Catholic? What keeps you coming back?
I can definitely say, as far as challenge-wise, it's definitely, I think, just finding your own way. When you're younger and you're there with your parents or, whoever you might be there with, you're kind of just, going along with them and things are being told to you. But as you get older, you have to find your own path and ways that help you to be able to be a strong person of faith. So that's the biggest challenge, I think, just growing up, as far as it's just finding my own path and my own way, as far as my relationship with God, and being able to, being able to use that so that going to service and going to mass also works for me as well. Because as you get to the teenage years and the young adult years, there's that disconnect and that feeling of I just I don't want to go to church anymore. So it's definitely been interesting. It's been a process and a journey, but I think that relationship with God has definitely been the biggest key for myself. What keeps me coming back is definitely, as far as just the rock, is definitely the family oriented part of just everybody that's there, and being able to, be around people that I've known for years since I was a kid, and people that have seen me grow up, knew me before I was born, and things like that. So that definitely keeps me coming back to the rock. And just far as, faith wise, it's just knowing that, having my own relationship with God really has helped me a lot in life. So keeping my faith strong and keeping my relationship with God strong has really helped me to get to the place that I am now and overcome a lot of things that I've also been through as well. So just to sum all that up, I think that's the biggest thing, as far as challenges, as well as things that are keeping me and keeping my faith strong. So.
Yeah. And is your faith something that you would say is connected to like how you show up at Better Family Life and in your job, or do you see them as like kind of separate spaces?
I definitely, I intertwine them in some points, in some aspects, definitely. I think, being able to have my relationship that I have with God and my strong faith helps me to be able to know, who I am as a person and my true self, and be able to be the best version of myself, so that I can, do the things that I do here at Better Family Life, and also just, my media stuff as well, things like that. So it all starts with God and God and, my relationship with him and just my faith as well. So without that stuff, I know I wouldn't be, the best version of myself and, doing the things that I am doing. So I would definitely say there's this intertwined and things like that. So.
Thank you. Something kind of related to the last question, at College Church here, we have our Parish Vision, which is our sort of strategic plan. And one of our big priorities for the coming years is, we're calling it accompanying young people from birth to 35 in the creation of a hope-filled future. So I'm just curious, as a young leader in the church yourself, what advice you might have for us on how we can live into that vision and that priority.
I would definitely say, especially when it comes to, young adults and even teenagers, you can say the biggest thing is just allowing them to be themselves, allowing them to do things, and also just giving them support and letting them know that there is somebody there for them. That's the biggest thing that a lot of young people have challenges with, is they don't think anybody's there to support them or listen to what they have to say or help them along in this life journey. So I think the biggest thing is just being supportive, letting them take the lead in a lot of things, and just supporting them and giving them advice on the way. So when they know they have somebody behind them and somebody that's backing them and supporting them, youth I've discovered are just a lot more open, as well as willing to do more, and also getting to those goals and figuring out what they want to do with themselves a lot quicker and with a lot more confidence as well. So yeah, that teenage years to the young adult years, definitely challenging for a lot of people, but when there's people around that support them and support and give great advice and are just there for them on a daily basis, that's the great thing about that. So I would say that.
Great. And was that your experience, like growing up? Did you have people, whether at Rock Church or just in your community, who were there for you and mentored you and were sort of those role models in your life?
Definitely. I had a lot of great role models and mentors, not only at the Rock, but also, through BFL when I was a youth in the program, as well as, school and in my family as well. So yeah, I've been blessed to be able to have a lot of mentors and great role models that have been able to help me on this journey and really instill in me a lot of things that, I still use to this day and have made me the person that I am. So yes, I've been very blessed with that. So.
Well, something I wanted to ask, because I read the article and I saw in one of the pictures in the Catholic St. Louis magazine article, you're wearing a shirt that says Black joy is revolutionary. And I love that statement. I wanted to ask you what that means to you.
Definitely. So that shirt actually came from an organization called Black Men Smile, and I know the founder and owner very well, and he came to my school, Western Illinois University, one year, and that's how I met him. So it's from that organization. And as far as is that that motto of Black joy is revolutionary, I think it's really just when you know, being an African American, when the energy is up, when the joy is up, and everybody's on the same page, we get a lot done. It's very revolutionary, and things are getting done when everybody's, you know, good vibes and the energy is positive, and there's no negative energy, and everybody's working together. We get a lot done. So I feel like that's the revolutionary part, is when, you know, we're all on the same page, we're getting things done. So making things happen, and a revolution happen. So yeah. So and I love being positive and being happy each and every day. That's one big thing that I live by. So I know if I'm positive, when I'm happy, I can get a lot done, but also I can help the people around me, you know, get their energy up and get things done as well. So yeah, Black joy is revolutionary is definitely it's a real thing. It's definitely a real thing that happens, and people can relate to if you just dive into it a little bit. So
love it. Yeah, and this is a little off the cuff, so you may or may not have a story in mind, but just curious if you can think of a time when that was like just really the case for you, whether at work or at the Rock Church or in your personal life, when that was just Black joy is revolutionary was like sort of a way that you would capture that moment, if that makes sense. Definitely.
One thing that comes to my mind here at Better Family Life in 2019, we had a youth empowerment, it's small rally. We do big rallies, but we had a small rally here during the summertime that our Youth Leadership Academy put on. And it was all concerning the George Floyd and situation. Well, at that point, not George Floyd yet, but it was another situation that was going on. And, you know, they put it together, we helped them, but everybody was just on the same page. The energy and the vibes and the positivity was so high, even though what we were doing was, you know, standing up for a great cause and standing up for what we believe in and what we know is right. So the teams put it together. We had a lot of dignitaries and politicians in St. Louis come and speak as well. And it was just a great all around experience. So they got to speak their mind, and they got to express, you know, how they're feeling as far as Black Lives Matter and other situations like that, and, you know, how they're treated as youth and things like that. So that's definitely a time I can definitely say recently that I can say off the top of my head.
Great. And another question that just came up in my mind is like your connection between faith and justice. Like, how do you see that play out in your own life? Is you know, your desire to seek justice and be a part of activism, is that like connected to your faith, or how is it connected to your faith?
Definitely, I pride myself on activism and community activism, and, you know, just activism period, as far as helping and, you know, giving a voice to the voiceless, and making sure that I do my part to push the agenda and you know, keep justice happening and coming for people that aren't getting it. So as far as faith and intertwining all that together, definitely faith, like I said, faith in God is the focal point of my life, the top thing of my life. So without that, nothing would happen. And just in having that, it pretty much rounds everything out and makes it a lot easier and a lot better. So yeah, activism is a big thing for me, a big part of my life. And I know that I can make a change, not only just with the youth, but with my voice as well. So just standing up for people that, you know, feel like they're not getting the support that they need or getting the justice that they need is a big thing for me. So yeah, my faith and relationship with God definitely is a part of that as well.
Great. Thank you. And the final question I have for you is just, this can be pretty broad, just who are some of the one or more saints or holy people, whether from history or the current day, people you know, or people who everyone knows, whoever that may be, however you define that, who are some saints or holy people who inspire you?
I definitely say the two of the top people are Mother Teresa and St. John Paul II. So those are two people that, you know, have done amazing things in their life, were caring of all people and really left an impact on this world. So those two are always two people that I go to. David in the Bible when he was facing Goliath, because I've always been one of the smaller people, in whether it's in my class, or summer camp, or whatever it might be. So just using his energy and being able to stand up and take down big challenges or tackle big things, major things that most people think I wouldn't be able to do. That's been an inspiration. And as well as, who I was named after, I was actually named after Caleb, who's in the Bible. So he's a strong warrior. So that's definitely another one as well. So I would say those four right now at the top of my head, I can definitely say. Great.
Thanks so much for sharing that. And thank you for taking the time, Caleb. Really grateful to know you and know that you're just up the street from us. So hopefully our paths will cross again.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Great.